Heterosexual fornication, murder, drug abuse, and gambling addiction are each far more prevalent than all heterosexual acts in St. Lucia put together. But when the High Court ruled that Buggery laws were unconstitutional, religious leaders all over the island broke their silence on every unbiblical thing in society to stand up for one biblical rule they cannot seem to shut up about: the one against homosexuality.
Therefore, as a church, we reaffirm our unwavering belief in the biblical model of marriage and sexuality. We respect the legal rights of all citizens while maintaining our freedom to live and express our faith conviction.
Unlike the Catholic Church, the Seventh-day Adventists do not have an institutional history of covering up sex crimes against children. Most Protestant churches only have repeated instances of sexual misbehavior by their leaders. These issues do not get as much attention as homosexuality from church leaders, and neither do human rights and social justice. Roger Stephen, as the leader of a church that prophesies a great human rights persecution of the true Christians in the end times, at least attempted to highlight the importance of human rights.
While we uphold biblical standards, we also recognize the inherent dignity, worth, and value of every human being. We are all children of God, broken in different ways, and we are all in need of grace.
But if we are all in need of grace and people are suffering from violence, addiction, recovering from poverty, and falling prey to foreign gangs, how come the Christian churches are so quick to prioritize the personal business of homosexuals and transsexuals over the immediate and urgent needs of their heterosexual flock?
The Seventh-day Adventist Church believes that marriage is a lifelong union between one man and one woman, and that sexual intimacy is reserved exclusively for this sacred relationship.
It is an ironic observation given how hard the Protestant reformers of the Middle Ages fought to get the Roman Catholic Church out of their politics and out of their personal business like divorce. Roger Stephen and other religious leaders like him may be inviting a return to the dark times before the Reformation by calling for a nation to return to God when human rights progress is made.
I call on our nation to return to God and His Word, because what we are seeing in St. Lucia, all the mayhem, the bloodshed, the killing, the violence, the hatred, the anger, it is as a result of the fact that we have strayed from God.
The religious clamor for national morality strays dangerously close to calling for an end to the separation of church and state. And the Seventh-day Adventist Church, more than any other Christian church, depends on this separation in order to survive its own version of the end times. Not to mention that Adventist church pastors in St. Lucia, like many other churches, have had their own fair share of sex scandals that the church has not publicly addressed. Perhaps religious leaders in both the Roman Catholic and the Protestant churches should consider taking the advice that says, before we look at the speck of dust in someone else's eye, we should take care of the big piece of wood in our own. It was advice given by a guy who never once wasted any effort talking about homosexuals. His name was Jesus. He was full of good advice. For Choice News Now, I'm Jason Seaflay.